Titania shall witness my rise.
And this is the Artful Pose.
Hello everybody, it's the Professor from the Artful Pose, and I know I'm starting off with kind of an odd sight for a box. And if you're looking at the thumbnail, you know what I'm reviewing, but the box looks a little, what? What is this? Yes, for those of you who saw the thumbnail and know that I'm going to be reviewing 4 figures, that's right, 4. Cuatro, it's 4 figures that are going to be coming out of this box. I was surprised too when I got it in the mail. I did like the classic Masters of the Universe illustration here, and it's all been printed out, and you can see here's the shipping label. That's where it would have gone. I got this with a couple of other things, and it was just really neat, and I thought, oh, well, that's interesting. And at the time when I ordered this, I completely forgot. For those of you who are interested, this is an Amazon exclusive. So this is Amazon's packaging in conjunction with Mattel. And that's where the surprise, once I realized that, oh, it's an exclusive. They're going to do their own thing. So check this out. I sliced it down at the bottom because I was curious, and I opened it up, and voila. I got this awesome display. I mean, that's sick. I mean, guys, look at that. You got Man-at-Arms, He-Man, Skeletor, and Goatman, all beautifully printed, all on the interior, with the characters very neatly displayed, fully touchable, not behind anything else, just fully there. I mean, they look great. And you can see you got the red and the purple, just so you know, oh, light versus dark, good versus evil. It's all there in that nice packaging with the beautiful Masters of the Universe at the top. I was impressed. I mean, this is what you're going to get. So, without further ado, I'm gushing out the packaging. Hey, before I begin, this is a very good illustration of don't judge a book by its cover, and in this case, a box by its box. Jeez, oh my gosh, this is one heck of a presentation. All right, let's free these masters. And there we have them, the Masters 4-pack right out of the box. This is the Amazon exclusive 4-pack for He-Man, Man-at-Arms, Skeletor, and Goatman. And here it is. Hey, I have to admit, getting them out of the box was a bit tricky, and this is brand new. So when I'm saying brand new, and for those of you who saw the movie, which David and I did, and absolutely adored that thing, the meta jokes honestly didn't ruin it at all. That's for people who are over 40, pretty much. I get it. So what Mattel decided to do, if you're looking into this, for a couple of years now, we've had just their Origins line, which was indicative of the 1980s versions of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, which then evolved into their Masterverse line, thanks to, and I know this is to the chagrin of some, I honestly did like it, the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Revelation series that was on Netflix. That sparked the whole Masterverse, where we started getting this huge style, 7-inch scale He-Man with articulation that he's never had before outside of what Mattel did with their Super 7 and who was the other one? The 4 Horsemen toy line. So this was the most that we've gotten from Mattel in terms of all the articulation, being a much bigger scale, yada yada, accessories based off that cartoon, which then spawned out more. But that's all done away with, according to Mattel. And now they have these new core figure lines that are geared towards collectors and predominantly kids, because that's what toys were originally for. Just like us, who are adults now, it's our kids' turn. So, and I get it. This is where if you want it to thrive, you gotta go for the kids. So this is their part of their core line. But the cool thing is that this also doubles as a collector's line. They found over at Mattel this between Origins and between which was Masterverse, now Chronicles. We have their core line. There's your history lesson. Professor over. And if you did like my history lesson, please like and subscribe. It helps out the channel. It's free for you, and it helps us out a ton. So, let's start off with He-Man. This is He-Man from the new 2026 movie, which is out right now. Hopefully it comes out on streaming soon. I think it's within a month, because I'd love to watch it again. This is based off of this He-Man. Hopefully we get others in this line. This is a little bit bigger than your Origins line outside of classic He-Man, and it's a lot much shorter than was Masterverse, now Chronicles line. So it's this nice little in-between, very, very more of a 90s take. And this is meant to be played with. Now, this particular He-Man, believe it or not, is a little different because it's part of the Amazon exclusive 4-pack. So the paint decal and the paint shading, I don't know if the camera's picking up on it, but there's skin tone shading all throughout this particular version of He-Man, along with the face sculpt. The hair coloring is all a little bit different than what you're going to see in regular retails as a standalone figure, so it is going to be slightly different. I like it. I mean, the one thing that's my little gripe, and for those of you who have been watching our channel, and I hope you're liking and subscribing, is that I'm very big on the texture, because I'm one of those who likes to have the figure in hand and move it around and treat it almost similar to like a posing puppet, and then once I find that pose, leave it, maybe take a picture, and that's what I'm going to be happy with. This one feels a little different. It doesn't have that hard plastic feel like we have in Origins, but it doesn't have that glossy feel like we have with the Masterverse or even the Chronicles line. It's a bit matte, almost dry, similar to what Super 7 did with their Thundercats line. Has that kind of matte, chalky feel. I can't put my finger on it. There's no gloss. It is all entirely matte. The paint apps on the chest are pretty good. The hair looks great. I could tell that they're using the same plastic sheath as they are using in the Chronicles line, which, do I have that? Yes, I do. I do have that He-Man, same one from the movie. Looks like it's the same type of plastic material. And believe it or not, actually holds the sword in the exact same way. But I will say this, if your kids decide to play with this He-Man particularly rough, like we did, the sword does pop out of the sheath easily, which, if you're going based off the movie, he was dropping it a lot. And I know that was there because, well, us as kids, we dropped it a lot, and oh my gosh, if you're playing outside with that, it was a panic. All right, so let's get quickly into the articulation. He-Man can look right, left and right. He can look about, he can't really look up, he can't really look down, just a little nod. Good guy. Arm can rotate all the way around. Can it pop out like the Origins? No, it's in there. It's really in there. You cannot pop the arm out. All right. No butterfly joint. Pretty basic articulation. Full rotation. Single jointed elbow. No pegs. Can rotate at the wrist, and, which is really great, they have the hinge going up and down, so He-Man can hold the sword and point it. Just when he points it up to the sky and says, I have the power. So, and then the other wrist just has a swivel. So I guess if you have a shield from another one, you can put the shield on him, if you have one. That's a good point. We didn't see the shield in the movie. Spoilers. But if you notice even if you've been monitoring Masters of the Universe, yeah, there really hasn't been any evidence in the trailers either of the shield. He's got twist, legs can go out that far, pretty decent. Forward, they do swivel outward, but I noticed in the Chronicles line, it did that as well, similar to like a Barbie, and I understand that's so that you can put him on Battle Cat later. Single jointed knee, about that far, and twist. No thigh cut, but you can twist at the knee, and there's no ankle. So there's He-Man. I have the power! I love that. Okay, so now we go with his rival. We'll just go in and out. Jeez, like herding cats. Okay, so next we have is Skeletor. Oh, I thought Jared Leto did such a great job. It was hysterical. So this one I was a bit impressed. The top part of where the cape is being held is, it's a soft rubber. And the cape actually goes, he's got a fabric cape, which, by the way, just as a side note, the Amazon exclusive is the only one where you can get the fabric cape, which I thought how Mattel did a really neat design with the overlay right here to make sure it hides any gappage, because those of you who did grow up with the original Skeletor, the headpiece and the hood were one piece. This looks more realistic, for sure. But yeah, this top part, the fabric goes underneath it, and it's an overlay. So I guess does it impede articulation? Not by much. You can still do full rotation of his shoulder right there, and his shoulder can go out that far. So just like He-Man, he seems to have a little bit more range of movement, I notice. He can look down. He can actually look up a little bit further. Well, more like straight ahead, but he can actually look down, which I like, because if you put him on high, you can still do the whole, yeah, look down, lower. You know, one of those moments. That's great. Also has the hinge, just like He-Man, the hinged wrist. And I love that he comes with this Havoc staff. That is so cool. And the fact that they didn't get all super cheap with us, because let me tell you, this is a lot of action for $37 on Amazon. It's not, I mean, that's a great paint job. And I'm getting 4 figures. I mean, there's some smudging right there, but adds to gives it some character, I guess. And this is all silver, black. It's the most amount of paint apps on this figure. Everything else seems to be sculpted, but it doesn't have nearly as matte of a feeling as He-Man does. This one you get more of that glossy. It looks like because this is all hard sculpted plastic. It's not really that solid plastic gummy either. The loincloth is a separate piece. Oh, right. I wanted to show you. There's an Easter egg. For He-Man, he has a rubber loincloth too, but underneath, Mattel gave him the classic fur bikini, like the original He-Man. So if you wanted to go really retro with your kids, that's awesome. Skeletor also, single hinge knee and rotation. Very, very nice. Most of them all have the same type of articulation scheme, just different sculpt, which it shows they're a different sculpt. They're not using the whole same body buck like back in the day where everyone had the same build because, well, molds cost money. That's why if there's any griping, give them a break. Let's go to our next good guy. We have the famous Idris Elba as Man-at-Arms, which I thought he did such a great job. That look he gave when he said about with a soldier and just needing more targets, it was adorable. That's such a 10-year-old thing to say. I love it. So what's interesting about him is Man-at-Arms doesn't have a separate loincloth, but he does have a separate belt piece that's all sculpted one material. And the shoulder pads, they are separate. So just a heads up, it does like to fall down from time to time if they're not all the way up on his massive bicep. The handguard that had all the cool weapons and stuff in it, similar to like Boba Fett, is a separate piece as well. And then this part is one solid hard piece. But the articulation, still the same, left to right. He gets a little bit more range than He-Man. Look at that. A lot more range than He-Man. Gets the hair, and he's got the helmet. But he can actually look the furthest up than anybody. Interesting. Ooh, that's nice. That's a great head sculpt. Jeez Louise. Mac and cheese. That's great. And for under 40 bucks. He does have the waist swivel. Now you're probably thinking, well, how far can he extend his arms? Go up that high. And it goes up and down like butter. Does a slight rotation. I noticed with some of them, the shoulders are a bit stiff. So you might, if you get it, might need to heat treat it to loosen up that plastic. He does come with his pistol, which is awesome, and his classic club. I love seeing that, how it would just open up. These are glued in, but they are separate, and it's not a paint app that is molded in that plastic. The paint app, funny enough, gets down here to the shin guard. That's all painted. And it gives you the illusion there's an ankle, and there's not. Ugh, gosh. Ooh, and check this out. He can store his pistol, boop, right on his thigh, just like in the movie. More targets. Oh, I love that. Did he just call us buttworms? I love that. It's been a running joke in our house now. And finally, without further ado, this is also the only way, by getting this 4-pack, the only way you can get Goatman. Yep, no joke. The only way. He's a bulky character. When I took this guy out, I was just thought, oh man, he's got some girth to him. And he moves well. I mean, geez. That's impressive. You can get a good walking motion on him. That's super. And they did such a good job, so you can clearly tell there's the hooves. It's all painted there very nicely. We get that on camera. The whole girdle and loincloth set, that is all one piece. Completely separate, covered all the way around. And he comes with this awesome axe. Check that out. You know that's for cutting off heads. Great expression, great paint job, even down to the eyes. And this is just a fun character. Goatman. You can do a split that big. Oh, goat kick. That's great. So how does he fare about with the Chronicles line? Let's take a look. Ooh, stand up. He stands up pretty well for a goat. Well, this is in comparison to the Chronicles. Oop. It's like herding cats, people. It's like herding cats. So you can see there's a relative good size difference. So if you opt for one and not the other, here's that He-Man with Chronicle Skeletor. That's a decent size. You see, it's much smaller. Much, much smaller. And then if you have what is currently out, the 2000X edition, it's also taller. So it is smaller in that aspect. But now if you have the movie Cringer, somehow you're able to find it in your store for cheap, but you couldn't find He-Man, does he work on that Cringer? Let's see. Yeah, he kind of does. That's awesome. So he could work with your Cringer. That's just great. All right. Let's line them all back up. So there you have it. The 4-pack for He-Man and Masters of the Universe 2026 film from Amazon. Remember, this is an Amazon exclusive in order to get the He-Man with the paint apps and the Skeletor with the cloth cape, and especially Goatman as a single character. It's the only way you can get them. And for $37, can't beat that, and it can only go on sale. So I'd nab it if I were you. Alright, so as always, please like and subscribe, and may all your poses be artful.
like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe.